Hello YouTube, Red to Green here again with another recap. Today is January 5th, 2022. I got the date right this time around, right? And I'm up $353.34. I'm glad to be up. I was hovering around 130 area for a while, spinning on my wheels, 130, 150, and then RELI happened. So good day overall. I'm happy to be over 300. By the way, please hit the like button, the thumbs up button, the subscribe button, whatever you want. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help me tremendously and help my channel. Thank you. So I traded 6 stocks: DTST, IMMX, ISIG, LGVN, LIXT, and RELI. DTST, let's start with that one. So DTST, that's a stock I traded at the halt, right after the first halt. It was a 10-minute halt, and it was setting up to look like it would push again into another halt, but it never actually broke that 5. So I was trading the halt resumption pullback. I was kind of in around 440 area and traded into that 470, 450, smaller share size, nothing crazy. I was waiting for that 5 to break. It never happened. So, but overall, I'm happy. Over $80 on it so far. So it's okay. It's nothing crazy, but I wish they actually pushed over 5 to see that additional momentum, right? And to see all those buyers coming in over 5. That would have been definitely a nicer trade over 5 versus trying to scalp the bottoms here around this 470, 466 area. So the next stock is IMMX. IMMX, it's a continuation kind of sympathy momentum stocks from yesterday, I believe. So it did show on the 5-minute that red to green move really briefly, right? We saw this pop on IMMX at 7, then pull back into the 780. And then a nice trade around 7, the break of that 7 into the 720. And unfortunately, I didn't capitalize on it. I was watching something else, but also keep in mind that IMMX was very choppy. It had those flushes, right? So I was actually trading the second swing up around 9:40 a.m. I was kind of hoping for that bounce of a VWAP around 695, and it never happened. So I was in and I was out kind of multiple times. So that's why I'm down on it, almost $30. But the biggest thing for me on IMMX is I was up around $30 on it, and then I had a bad micro pullback fill. And when I say bad micro pullback fill is when it's actually micro pullback to that level, and you get in and you're actually hoping for that burst of momentum up, right, on that micro pullback. And it never happened. So, and what happens actually, it actually goes even lower. And then when it goes lower, that's when you tend to lose money. And sometimes it flushes. And that's exactly what happened with IMMX. It flushed down and that micro pullback never worked. So next stock is ISIG. ISIG, you know, it's our old favorite. I was hoping for it to get into the halt, and it was a really good at the market open. A lot of people weren't watching it, but I put it as soon as I saw volume coming in, I started watching it, and I did trade it a little bit. It wasn't a lot. It was kind of chop fest again, just like always with that ISIG, very spready and everything, just kind of flat on it. $11, nothing crazy. It never kind of show that direction, right? It was about to show, then there's a flush break of VWAP never held really, and then now it held. So it's kind of like very indirectional moves, and it's a very dangerous stock to be in. LGVN. Okay, LGVN was actually a decent move. So what happened with LGVN is a red to green trade, and I'm going to show you where that happened. So LGVN, and that's actually a really good setup, and that's why I want to focus on LGVN more than other trades. And then of course our RELI, that's going to be next on my list. LGVN, look at that pullback, right? It tested that high at the pre-market. Well, it wasn't pre-market high. It was pre-market high of that last pre-market 1 minute candle, which was at 41, right? Everybody thought it was going to break, and it didn't. And then it kind of pulled back and it found this support here, and it was hovering around that area. So you can watch my live recap. I told everybody, like, get ready, we're setting up for the red to green, and it did happen. So I did take that trade, made just a little over $60 on it, 65. So I didn't capitalize on that next 1 minute high. It kind of was a false breakout and then kind of sold off. So unfortunately, we didn't see that continuation. I was hoping for it to move back up to 15 and stuff. So just overall glad to be up on it. It was good. It was good setup. I like this setup. I like the finding bottom here, and then kind of push through that and sell into that previous high here when market open high. So it's a perfect setup. It's a book setup, especially for scalping, and it's just it just works out. And I'm glad it worked out on LGVN. I wish I used a little bit more share size on that. LIXT was everyone's favorite today. Okay, LIXT. If you look at the 1 minute chart on LIXT on pre-market, look at these bull flags. They're nice. I mean, I have no other words. They're nice. And this is a scalper's heaven on LIXT. So I don't know if Alex Winkler made money on it. I'm sure he did. That's his type of trading. He's probably buying and averaging into 90, 95 here and selling into the break of 10. So yeah, that's a type of that's a type of stock to really scalp and kind of average down okay with it. But of course you gotta make sure it proves that. So it did show that it was proved to hold, especially that 2 1 minute candle pullbacks, and it continued to that style. So really nice overall. Everybody were watching it. Well, not everybody. A lot of people were watching it for pre-market and into the market open. And I was the same. I was watching it, and I was watching the break of that 310. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And the way it didn't happen, it was kind of strange. Right at the before market open, you saw that burst in volume kind of coming in, and it tested that 10 again, 310. And then a lot of people loaded up and then hoping for that break of 310. It did break 310. It got to what, 311? Or no, it didn't. So it got to 310, and it sold off right away. So everybody just bailed out, unless the short and on top of it, probably shorts came in. So you saw that sell off happen on LIXT, and just after that, LIXT was testing VWAP and never really showed much of anything. I did trade that flat top breaks here and there. The fills were okay on TOS on it, so I think that's why I'm up $24. Nothing crazy. I think it's just the way the fills were. I made maybe 2 cents or something like that, 2-3 cents. So nothing crazy. Now RELI on the other hand was actually decent to me today. $200 on it, almost $200 on it. The initial pop at the market open was really good, right? You see this 1 minute bull flag. It was below VWAP when it opened, and as soon as it crossed the VWAP, I was trading around that area. That flush, kind of showed some weakness for sure. I kind of left it alone because see here's what happened, right? This setup right here, this is actually a really decent setup, right here. This is, but it's a setup. It's a bear setup, right? Well, it's not really bear because we coming from the bottom up, right? And then we're setting up for that flag. So I was hoping for it to go break 55 into that 80 again and test the highs of 90s. That's technically what the setup is actually telling us, right? But it also, if you look at it from the down way, right? It's also a bearish flag that could be. So again, these are all low float stocks, and you just have to play. You have to adjust, right? And we talked about it during the live session today. You have to adjust to the market, right? Now, would you take that setup blindly? Would you like load up and average down on this 940 and then potentially bounce off a VWAP on 930 and see that break into the 970, 980, 990? You could be banking, right? But it never happened, and look what happened. It sold off. It never even respected that VWAP again, and you would be down. And if you're back holding, you're basically what, almost a dollar, almost a point down in here. Yeah, eventually it came back, but most likely a lot of people bailed out right here in the break of that low again was this candle. So it's you have to play. You have to play the market, right? And you have to play it with by the rules that it gives you that day. So today they gave you this, you have to adjust to it, and you have to take it, and you have to play it, and you have to figure out if these are the setups, or based on the momentum flow, based on the build up and everything. So I was going to take that trade. It looked beautiful, right? This whole the bull flag pattern set up, and then take that 40 break into the 65. Why not? It looked beautiful. So anyway, I scalped my way through around this area too. I kind of scalped it all day long through, I believe, 1140 or something, and then as soon as it starts selling off, I kind of gave it back, and then that flush down, and then I believe there was another flush around 9. Yeah, so there are a bunch of flushes here. So I'm glad I'm up almost $200 on it. So it kind of kept my overall P&L up. Like I said, I was hovering around 120, 130 area for a very long time until RELI happened. So yeah, and RELI, that's yesterday's momentum stock, right? And I didn't trade yesterday into after lunch, right? It gave good setups. I saw that stock, and actually I'm glad I watched it, and I kind of took 75 shares or something one trade. That's why my live video was ended at like 234, and I ended at 249. So I made like $15 on it. So I practiced the way the stock moved, so it actually helped me today with RELI. I knew what to expect on it, sort of, if that makes sense, right? Obviously things could change around, that stock being on the front of everybody's monitor, but anyway, the moves, even the spreads on it were a little high, but I still traded it. So I'm getting more comfortable getting into this stocks with a higher spread. What I'm noticing is when I'm looking at my level 2 market depth, the bids are actually chasing the asks, and the way to explain that is, you see that initial pop, right? Like you see 975, right, on the ask break of like 50 into the 65.75, but the bid still hovers around 55.53, right? That ask is so far out, but there are actually no buyers to kind of push that into that 70 area. So what I notice I have to do is I kind of have to wait for the buyers to come in later as the ask moves. And I don't know why it's happening. It's kind of strange because it used to not be that way. Maybe because the market is kind of slow, that's why. Because usually it happens in a fraction of a second and I don't notice it because there's so much volume and volatility going on. And now I can actually see it. It's like it's the delayed reaction, delayed move. And sometimes it's either makes or breaks the trade. So yeah, I think that's my takeaway from today's and yesterday's, just overall this week's trading. Just look at the bids too, and pay attention, get a feel for that build up or the volume coming in. So yeah, it's definitely different trading than I used to. I used to see the ask go up 20 cents, and I'm already expecting and I'm assuming that the bid's going to be around that area too, which is not the case. Especially in my trading style, the way I get in and get out. So just an FYI, if you're into that type of trading, and just an FYI, just keep your eyes open on the bid levels as well. So I hope you guys green. I know we chatted with some people in live stream. A lot of people are green. So a lot of people took that DTST trade. RELI was like a hit or miss for some. LIXT, that's a pre-market trading for most of the people, and we did talk about the pre-market trading potentially. So there's definitely different things brewing for the pre-market trading. I see more and more pre-market momentum, and I also noticed the volume is lower well, not noticed, but it's always lower than in the market open. The pre-market volume is lower. And it's easier to kind of see those pushes with a lower volume, right? You don't need as much volume to push through some of the levels. So that's the benefit of pre-market. But it could also go the other way, right? If someone with a short bias comes in, and they decided to move that stock to a downside, you're definitely gonna see some painful moves. But anyway, again, guys, please hit a thumbs up button, subscribe if you like the videos. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps me tremendously, helps promote my channel so other people can see it, so we can build that community. I will see the interest that you guys showing into in these videos, and it gives me motivation to build up on my channel, maybe potentially add additional features that I share on my live stream. Also, maybe add some lesson type of videos, how-to type of videos, and just kind of, I just need a little motivation. That's all. And you guys are responsible for that, right? You guys, it's all I'm at your mercy for that. So anyway, I'm rambling a lot, and I'm not going to be trading tomorrow morning market open, but I might be trading in midday or afternoon. We'll see, maybe not, but definitely on Friday if everything is good. So I'll talk to you guys later.